Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So my question is, how do my husband and I navigate the very strained relationship we now have with his family after multiple instances of disloyalty and dishonesty? So my father-in-law needs to repay a loan of $100,000 to us and hasn't done it yet. It's been 2 years now. And 4 months ago, the in-laws and my husband wanted to start a new business. They actually own a family business. And that was around the time when we moved into our new home. They saw the house and a couple of days later asked my husband to put our house up as their loan guarantee for their new business, as it was worth around $2 million. And, my husband wouldn't be the business owner, but just an employee. So since then, the relationship...
I assume your husband said no.
My husband he was so angry. He said, not only no, but now pay us back $100,000 straight away. And now he's just keep distancing himself from them, which I totally understand. But how do we navigate this situation? How do we get the $100,000 back? I have no idea.
Wow. When is there any documentation or legal contracts on the $100,000, or was this a handshake?
The bank. Oh no! When we did the bank transfer, it literally showed up as loan to XYZ on the bank.
That doesn't matter. I mean, they didn't sign a note. They didn't sign a contract with you to repay.
No, it was just verbal.
So it's a handshake, and you wired them the money. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And was there any discussion at the time as to what the repayment terms would be?
Yes, at the time they said that as soon as they sell their house, because they had a secondary house that they didn't use, as soon as they sell their house, they're going to pay us back. But then they did
sell their house. Then they did sell their house.
No, they didn't. But they've had multiple offers. They just keep turning them down.
Okay.
Offers that match their asking price.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. You got yourself in a pickle, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And now my husband is feeling a bit guilty, and he keeps asking me if he's a good person, because he's told his dad now to repay everything back. And
yes, he's a good person. His dad is not.
Yeah, well, the mom's getting involved and telling everybody that we are money-minded and we are keeping our kids away.
I don't care what they told you. What they tell people. What they tell people doesn't matter. They don't really get a vote because they're the people that don't pay bills and propose absurd business things. They don't get a vote anymore. They lost their vote. What they tell people or what they think is irrelevant. Agreed?
Yes.
Other than it hurts your husband's feelings, but I mean, that his dad's being a twerp to him. But yeah. John?
Are y'all of means, Stacy? You live in a $2 million house. I'm assuming y'all have money?
Yes.
This is easy for me to say on this side of the ocean, but you're probably not going to get that money back. And just your husband making laps around the living room every night, existentially wondering if he's a good person. Is he costing his relationship with his dad? Is yada. I don't know.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening.
I can imagine here's the deal. Your father-in-law needs to pay back the money. He's probably not going to. He probably can't. And y'all now, Dave and I have been talking about this forever. Dave's for 3 decades before I even showed up. When you loan a family member money, you change the nature of your relationship together. Now you are invested in them accepting an offer on their house. Right? That's a transaction that should be between them and any potential seller and what they want to do and whether they want to keep 2 houses or not. But now you're invested in it, and you are now judging from afar their interactions, but it's because y'all loaned them money.
Yeah.
Right? So now the whole thing's a mess. I can see a world where your husband sits down with his dad and says, "Dad, I got mad. I blew my top. What's reasonable for repayment?" And there's also a thing where he says, "Dude, this is a gift. I'm writing it off. I'm moving on with my life."
What's Cheryl's net worth?
I think about 11 million.
Okay. So one possibility is take a deep breath, call Dad, and say, Dad, I shouldn't have loaned you this money without any documentation. I made a huge mistake. It's costing us our relationship. I'm not going to do any business with you because I can't really trust you on transactions. But we still do want to have dinner with you. We still want to interact with you. And we're going to forgive this loan. Forget it. Don't worry about it. Your life won't change one instant if you do that, except you'll be free. Right now, you guys are burning $10 million worth of calories over $100,000.
True. Yeah.
You could let it go for your sake. You could. That's one possibility. The second possibility is almost do that, but just let it go, but don't say anything. And just forget it, walk away. And then if they do pay you, let that be just like a pleasant surprise. But don't even have a conversation with them about it. Just forget it and just walk away. But you guys it's destroying y'all. It's, they're sitting over there smiling. Yeah. You're sitting over here freaked out. But again, and if I'm in your shoes, I'm also going to own my part of this. And the only part of this I really would call you two out on is you should never have done this transaction. And if you were going to do the transaction, you should have had a lot more business-minded about it. Handshake on $100,000 is ridiculous. Yeah. And so you asked for it. So when I do something stupid and it costs me money, I call it stupid tax. So I think you paid $100,000 in stupid tax. It's just a matter of when you want to pay it, whether you want to tell them today or whether you want to just forget it and say, I'm going to pretend like this never happened. I'm not even going to bring it up in my mind again. We're not going to bring it up in our marriage again. We're not going to ever do business with these people in any scenario, but we can be kind to them. They're blood family.
I like option one. I like there's something about owning it and calling Dad and Mom and saying, I shouldn't have done this. I did it, and y'all are free from it, and we'll be over for dinner on Sunday. Yeah, I'm gonna move on with my life.
And for you regular people, it would be like if you loaned them $100
or $1,000, right.
Or $1,000. You people that don't have $11 million. So just kind of, it's all about ratios here. Okay, so for some people,
don't loan family members money. Give it to them or say no, thank you.
Yeah. Period. Create your free every dollar budget today. The simplest way to budget for your life.